What's going on, everyone? Mitch here again, and we finally have our car back from getting the floor pan fixed, and I'm really excited to show you guys. So let's get to it. Thanks for joining me for another little episode of our Hyundai XL race car build, guys. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, give the video a like, or leave a comment at the end of this video. And I love seeing comments from you guys, and just keeping in touch with people that are following on with this build. I'm really excited to show you guys this. It is now about 10 o'clock at night. The rest of the family is sleeping. I myself am extremely tired because I've been getting up throughout the night to look after my newborn son while my wife sleeps. I do go back to work next week, which means that progress on this car will not be as much as what we've been getting done over these school holidays, but I still will be getting things done. So stay tuned, and we'll keep this build rolling along. I'm really keen to show you this floor pan. Now, the guys down at Cadco Off-Road here in Townsville have done a fantastic job. They had the car for just over a week, getting things done to it, and they did actually fix the issues with the engine that I had, why it wouldn't start. It actually turned out to be a crank angle sensor that had failed while I had the engine out of the car. So they fixed that. It is now good to go. It runs. It's the first time I've actually got to use the clutch since I replaced that, because obviously I couldn't get the car started when I took it in to get the floor pan fixed. That clutch, you can very well tell the difference in between the heavy duty clutch and the standard clutch that was already in it. But if you hear some water outside, it is raining. Sprinklers have just come on across the road. But let's get to this this floor pan, because I'm really keen to show you what this thing looks like. Alright, so there's a bit of stuff that actually went into getting this this floor pan fixed up. Now, in the regulations, it states if any material is moved or removed from the floor pan in an effort to lower the seat or make your seat fit, you must replace it with a similar material, and that's exactly what they've done here. So they've literally cut out the entire floor pan section of here, a large section of the transmission tunnel down there, and they've fabricated up this piece here which slots in, and they've welded it right in. So it is nice and sturdy in there, and I will be bolting my seat to this once I get my roll cage in. I won't put the seat in just yet. I'll wait till I get the roll cage in so I can see how far I can push my seat back. The reason why I had to get this floor pan altered was that when I had the seat in there with the previous or the original floor pan, I was actually about 40 to 50 mil off center from the center line of the steering wheel. So I had to get myself down, but also get myself across in the car. Because my seat is wider than standard, it meant that there was less room to play with actually on the floor pan. And so what they did is they cut out a section here, and then if you see on across this side, they've got that bulge that comes out here. That was on this side as well. That was where the previous brackets for the factory seats go. They've cut that out, just put it, bent a piece up here, fabricated it right up, welded it in, and the seat now sits across there, right against the tunnel over there, and it is now in line with the steering wheel. So I'm very happy. It actually gives me more shoulder room on this side of the car, or the driver's side door, for clearance for the wings of the seat. So I'll throw the seat in, and I'll show you the difference between what the seat used to look like and what the seat looks like now. So I'll get that seat in now, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so again, the seat we are using is an OMP HRC-R XL seat. It is designed for taller drivers that are a little bit wider across the hips. And I'll link the video detailing this seat that I've previously done. I'll put that up the top. I'll tag that up there, and link it down in the description. But this seat is awesome for taller drivers. It stands from floor to the top, to the very top up here, at about 980 mil. So very close to 1 meter tall from base to the top, which means that the taller driver, my shoulders sit right in here in the wings of this seat. And if I come around the front, I know the windscreen's a little bit dusty and dirty, but you can see here that the driver sits directly in line with the steering wheel, which is exactly what I want and is awesome. Previously, this is what it used to look like. You can see on the previous way it sat in the car is very much off center to the steering wheel, about 40 or 50 mil, like I said. With this steering wheel now in there, it sits very much in line. It is over towards the center of the car, and if you look up there, you can see the clearance that we have from the wing of the seat to the driver's side door. So I'll just close this door, and you can see there very much the clearance I have between the wing and the door, which is fantastic. It also lowers the seat down now that I've had the floor pan fixed. You can see here the difference in height. I've got the space between the back of the headrest to the ceiling or to the roof of the car, which is awesome. And I actually feel like now that this has been done, ignore the mess of the wiring, this is one of the first cars that has actually been, I can sit in and feel very much comfortable driving, given the fact that I am 6'10" and I have to fit my big frame in this tiny little car. Now, that seat is as much forward as it can go, but once I get the roll cage in, I might even be able to scoot it back a fraction like so, which will give me more room again to fit myself in this car. So it's just a waiting game at the moment. I'm saving up for the roll cage to be put in, and then once that goes in, I can get the seat mounted to the floor, okay, and then that'll give me my the distance I need. I can determine the distance I need between the steering wheel, the pedals, and the actual back of the seat. In the meantime, the interior of this car will be getting painted. Now, if you saw the last video where I put the engine back in the car, you would have seen that I painted the engine bay. It's an aluminium metallic color. It's a nice silvery color, and I intend to paint the interior of the car that color as well. Now, all the accessories that I'll be putting in there, I'll be painting some different accessories in there black, like a matte black or something along those lines, maybe even a gloss black, I'm not too sure, but I'm leaning towards more of a matte or a satin black to match the seat and the flocked dash, which I have just here. So once that goes back in, that'll look good. The seat's going to look fantastic in there, and with the silver floor, the silver panels and the silver roof and such, this car is going to look absolutely awesome. That's the plan anyway. So short video today, guys. I just wanted to give you a bit of an update on how this thing is tracking. I will be painting it hopefully tomorrow, or getting started on the painting. I do have to do a bit of cleaning up near the shifter mechanism down here. Just get a bit of gunk, I don't know if you can see that, get a bit of gunk off that, and then across the other side near the handbrake, and then get it ready, all prepped, ready just to do a bit of a paint and get that taken care of. So then we can move on to just tidying up the wiring. I really want to tidy up this wiring. There's just stuff going everywhere. So I'm going to get some loom tube and make that look nice and neat and tidy. Get that squared away. Car needs a new battery, so I'll be getting a 12-volt battery for the car with a bracket for that. Get that mounted up, and then get onto our isolator switches and things like that. All the stuff needed for this race car to get it on the track or on the road as soon as possible. Again, still a heap of stuff to do. There's stuff that we have to do to the body. New door skins that I'm going to be making up. New door handles and things like that. Just getting creative with that. Putting the dash back in. Gauges. All that kind of stuff still has to be done. So we've still got a long way to go. But the big thing is that that floor pan's done. I can fit my big backside in this car, and it is nice It is comfy for me. I'm not feeling like I'm squished up in a really, really tiny little car. I actually feel very relaxed in there. Once I get the steering wheel, the quick release, the steering boss, all that, I'll decide whether or not I actually have to move the steering wheel closer to me, and I probably won't decide that until I get the cage in, the seat mounted, and I see the distance I have between the steering wheel and myself in the seat. So a few different things to consider. The good thing is we're on our way, and yeah, we just start chugging away and plugging away at all the different things we need to get done, like tightening the wiring, painting, door skins, things like that. So stick with this, guys. I'd love to get as many videos out as possible on this thing, but as it is, I go back to work next week. I am a teacher. It is a very busy time for me, and I really only get the weekends and some evenings if I get the chance to work on this thing. And again, you've also got to have money to do this. So the next big purchase we'll be making will be the roll cage, and then the biggest purchase after that will be the suspension setup for this car, and I'll go into that more into detail a bit later on. But I already know which suspension package I want to put into it. It won't be cheap. It's not going to be the basic package that you can find. It will be a serious bit of kit. Same with the roll cage. I'm not going for a basic roll cage. I'm going to go for a decent cage, for the simple fact is that if I'm going to build this thing, I want to build it right. I want to build it safe. And if I build it and I want to take other people for a ride in it, and I want to put a seat in there as well for them to sit in, I want them to be feeling safe in there as well. So again, cage will be a big expense, but safety is a big factor for me, and I'm not going to compromise on that. I want this thing to be a very safe vehicle to drive, and for people to hop in and ride in if they would like to. So yeah, safety is a no-brainer for me. If I put the basic cage in, I feel like if I go back and say, oh, that's not good enough, it's just a waste of money because I have to upgrade the cage again. So I'm just going to go straight for a national spec cage with the door bars, cross door bars, things like that, and make this thing really stiff, really strong, and really safe for me and anyone else that gets in the car. So stick around. I'll give you guys another video hopefully soon of the painting of the interior of the car, and then we can move on to doing all the other little nitty-gritty bits. Now that the mechanical stuff is done, we can move on to everything else that makes this thing an actual race car. So stick around. I'll catch you guys soon. Again, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. Any questions you have, guys, I'm more than able to answer them. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave a message, because again, I'm in Townsville. There's no one in Townsville doing a build for Hyundai XL series. I did bump into a guy that said, oh, I've got an XL at home I don't know what to do with, and I told him about this project. He goes, man, I'm going to do that too. So hopefully he's on board, and we can get this thing off the ground, because when there's a new track being built in Townsville, when that's on board, I'd love to have a bunch of XLs out there racing here in Townsville, because it is a great budget class, and I'd love to get as many people into this as possible. So again, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, whether asking a question or some suggestions on what I should do. But I'll see you next time. Thanks very much, guys.